Yo, what's up guys? I'm Grandmaster Shaman and welcome back to the channel, and today the fox is on top. Yep, this is just how it goes. Welcome to the Sakura series. If you guys are hyped, make sure you guys hit that like button down below for me, because you already know your support's greatly appreciated, as well as subscribing to the channel and commenting. We're just going to jump right on into it. Oof. Junie whimpers, her eyes wide as her back hits the floor. Our breasts are pushed up close together, soft and warm despite the underwear that conceals our skin. We're so close I can hear Junie's heart beating. Her adorable cheeks heat up, the hot red blood bold and bright and delicious on her pale skin. She's so cute, I want to eat her up. I want to suck on her pink lips, nibble her cheeks, and slap my tongue into her mouth. Oh crap, I'm getting excited, my tail is starting to shiver. I don't want to do anything against Junie's will, though. I like her a lot, and I can't bear the thought of hurting her. Maybe before I make a move, I need to know if she's alright with all this. If she doesn't like it, I'll stop. Being rejected would hurt, of course, but Junie's happiness is more important than my own pleasure. She's already done so much for me, I owe her at least this much courtesy. Junie. I shift, my breast pressing up a little more firmly against Junie's. Is this okay? You said you wouldn't mind me if we were more intimate, but did I take things a little too far? I'm an idiot, you see. I'm super impulsive, and if I'm doing something wrong, you better tell me. You can scold me if you like. I just want to make you happy. Oh, Makoto. Junie looks up at me, her eyelashes soft and dewy. She seemed anxious at first, a little taken aback, but now I think she's grown accustomed to our closeness. Thank you for being so considerate. You really are a sweet girl. I wonder if that's why I feel so drawn to you. Then, does that mean you're okay with this? Well, it'd be a lie if I said I wasn't a little surprised, but I like your impulsiveness. You make me feel warm and wanted, even if my head hurts a little. I could have been a bit more gentle, but I like lying together with you and the feeling of your body against mine. I like you a lot, so don't worry. I'm happy. Junie raises one hand and rests it on my scalp. Her fingers massage the base of my ears, where I'm most sensitive, and yeah. I squirm, my hips buckling, my tail twitching more than ever. Yeah. Junie repeated my impassioned cry, a teasing smile on her lips. What's this? I thought you were supposed to be a fox girl, not a cat. I am a fox girl. Every inch of me is pure fox. From my cute ears to my twitchy tail, but when you touch my ears like that, You. What? I can't help myself. You're making me feel crazy. Then why don't you give in to your desires? Jesus. Yo, she's ready. She's so ready. Damn, okay. Huh? What do you mean? I mean, I'm letting you go crazy. Do whatever you like with me, I don't mind. I don't know why, but I just want to see you smile. Junie, Junie, if you really mean that, then I'm not gonna hold back. Okay. I'm like, please don't make me have to edit. They're not like actual. After a rather intimate encounter, Junie and I have fallen into bed. We both feel exhausted, and within time, we fall fast asleep. Our eyelashes mat together, our breaths falls from lips in soft, steady exhalations. The sheets feel nice and cool against my flushed skin, and I sigh. The last thing I think of before I fall asleep is this. I don't know if I've ever been happier than I am right now. It's beautiful. What? It's morning already. Oh, well, it's morning already. I blink groggily, trying to peer through the mental fog. I feel well rested, but this bed is so warm and cozy I can't bring myself to wake up. I want to sleep for a few minutes longer, just a few minutes, but something isn't quite right. I can feel a ticklish sensation against my cheek and something warm draped around my waist. It's almost as though someone else is lying in bed with me. What in the world is going on? I yawn, forcing my eyes to focus, and then, all of a sudden the memories from last night return to me in a downpour. The spilled apple pie, the embarrassed dash through the woods, Junie's embrace, then the feel of her naked skin against mine. After that, We had sex, didn't we? That's the first thing that you say. You wake up in the morning and you're like, well, we did that last night, huh? What? Junie blinks at me. Her eyes are half-lidded, and she has to rub residual sleep away from them with her fingertips. When she regains full consciousness, a small smile plays about her lips. Her blue eyes shimmer, and she says, "That was a funny way to say good morning." I know. Oh, that was a funny way to say good morning. I know. I'm sorry. It's just this was so sudden. Now, I'm not sure what to feel. Junie surveys me curiously, her brow furrowed. You don't mean to say you don't regret what we did together, do you? I tried to be gentle, but I hope it didn't hurt you, Makoto. If I went too far, I apologize. Oh, no, don't apologize. I didn't dislike it. In fact, I loved it. My face burns. I wonder if my skin feels hot to the touch, scalding Junie's white fingers like a furnace. It's actually kind of embarrassing how much I liked it. My whole mind went white. All I could think about was you. Then I guess that's a good thing. That was my first time doing something like that. I'm relieved I'm not terrible at it. You weren't terrible at all. Being with you was lovely, like a dream. Maybe that's why I feel so funny. It's almost like, well, I stare at Junie's face. Her arms are looped around my waist and her chest is pushed up against mine. I feel so safe and warm in her arms. My heart trembles. I had a pretty shattered upbringing. I never really had any friends other than Ohana, and she doesn't really count. She's way older than me, and I've always looked up to her, but she isn't a real friend. I don't care about her the same way I care about you. I always wanted to find somebody I had a special connection with, but I'm the daughter of the Yamattai's chief. Everyone always keeps their distance, and when I grew up without any apparent magical powers, everyone teased me. I was pretty lonely. I figured I'd be lonely for the rest of my life. I never thought I'd form a bond with another person this strong, and with a human no less. That's a whole lot to take in. My head's still reeling. It doesn't really feel real, but I'm happy, really and truly. When I'm with you, it feels like I finally found a place where I belong. Makoto, oh Makoto. Junie smiles. She holds me close, her hair tickling my cheeks. Her skin is so soft and she smells so sweet. She's so beautiful, I can't even. It's hard to believe a woman like this wants to stay with a clumsy screw-up of a fox girl like me, but I like you too. I like you a lot. In a way, it feels like I've been searching for you my whole life. You really do look just like her. Her? What do you... I start to ask, but I'm unable to get the words out. That's because Junie leans in, her fingers threading through my sun-kissed hair and presses a kiss against my lips. Oh. I thought it leaned in. Okay. After a sleepy, lazy morning spent trading kisses and exploring another... Oh, they freaking did it again in the morning. Okay, fair enough. I mean, this is the honeymoon stage. What do you expect? Junie and I rise from her bed. We bathe together in a stream outside Junie's home, then we put on our clothes, which are freshly dried in the sun after our exploits the day prior. Wait, so, I'm confused. So they had sex and then they cleaned their clothes? Because the clothes had to be dry, right? So they had to have been wet, so you had to clean them. But, Makoto just pounced on Junie, and they just went to town. So... I don't know, maybe they fucked, and then afterwards they went out and cleaned their clothes and then went to bed. We ate together at midday in Junie's kitchen and while away the time talking and playing card games. Oh, they played some card games? Did they summon the galaxy-sized photon dragon? Hold on. Did they summon the galaxy-sized photon dragon? Because if they didn't, I'm greatly disappointed. Or what? Did they? What do you use? Kagari? You use Sky Striker pleb? What is it? What is it? Orgist? Thunder Dragons? Maybe you're a guru control type of person? We don't really talk about my status or as a fugitive, nor what the village chief would do to me if he finds me, but we totally ruined the cozy atmosphere. I don't want to think about such serious things now. It'd be nice, I reflect, if Junie and I could go on another walk while the sun is high in the sky, but I'm afraid it'd be too risky. There's a chance I could run into someone from Rowan Village. There's no guarantee that Shattery somebody would be as understanding as Fallon. I guess I got pretty lucky last night bumping into her of all people. If it had been somebody else, I might not be sitting here right now luxuriating in Junie's love. I'm happy I'm still alive, and I'm glad I could be with Junie, but it'd be a lie if I didn't feel a bit restless. I can't help it. Call it a hunch or maybe intuition. Fox girls are supposed to be spiritual beings, highly attuned to shifts in the atmosphere, but it feels like something is going to happen. Something serious. Something insane enough to tip my whole world on its axis. Yeah, you're probably going to get... Because we found the whole village thing, and you've kind of made a little bit of a leeway, but you're also, like, right next to the village, and that's kind of not okay. But I also know that your people are probably going to find you because you're literally the heir to the family throne. Like, you're legitimately, like, a princess, basically. So, considering it's been several days, search parties are probably on the lookout for you. Time ticks on, and I get impatient. I wasn't made to sit indoors. I have too much nervous energy. I shifted my chair, tapping my foot against the floor. Eventually, Junie noticed my discomfort and asked if I want to go on for a walk. Is that really okay? I mean, I try not to let my enthusiasm show on my face. I didn't want Junie to think I'm bored of her company. I wouldn't mind going out, but it's safe. I don't want to get in trouble again. It should be fine. It's totally not going to be fine. That's just how this works. To be fair, I mean, with how close they are to both, like, not only the Fox Girl Village, whatever the frick the name was, but they're also, like, right next to the human village as well. Like, Junie glances out the window. The sun is already set and the stars twinkling in the velvet sky. I think most of the villagers will be at the festival grounds dismantling the stalls. They usually do it earlier than this, but after the commotion after the festival, things got held up a little. So they waited like 4 days? I flush at this, feeling guilty. I know exactly why the villagers of Warren were delayed in dismantling the festival stalls. It's all my fault. Everyone should be busy, so why don't we go for a stroll? We could walk into the meadow again, and it looks particularly pretty beneath the moonlight, and I could point out one or more of the constellations if you like. It'd be better than sitting indoors, wouldn't it? Well, if you don't mind, then I smile at Junie, my face flushed with happiness. I'd love to go out with you, Junie. It'd be just like a date. A date, Isn't that the lovey-dovey couples do? I guess, Some of the Fox girls back in Yamatai, Shizuka and Shiori in particular, used to talk about going on dates with Fox boys from the Yayoi clan. Okay, so I'm confused though. So it's a Fox girl village and a Fox boy village. Did they like recently split up? Or maybe they reproduce asexually? Well, at least the girls would. I don't know about how the boys would do that. I don't know, that's really interesting. I never really cared about dating or guys, so their boasts never bothered me, but the prospect of going out with Junie is making my heart flutter. I guess it's because she's special. I like her a lot, and I think I'd like to be a lovey-dovey couple with you, if you wouldn't mind. What do you think? Would that be alright? Silly thing, as if you need to ask. Junie reaches across the table and takes my hands in her own. Her eyes are very warm, her lips curved into a sweet smile. I'd love to go on a date with you, Makoto. I do love you, after all. I stare at Junie, eyes wide, mouth slack. It's amazing what an impact that one word, only one single syllable long, has on my heart. Junie loves me. She really loves me. Maybe it should have been obvious by now after we had sex, but to have it... See, but that's... Hey, I mean, I know that this is like the 1500s or something like that. It's set in a fantastical world, but... in today's society, like, in fact, really, for a long time, having sex did not equal love. In fact, it's just not as common as it should be, but to have it confirmed like that by Junie's own mouth is amazing. This is amazing. Oh, Junie, I love you too! This is bad. The two of us walk into a meadow hand in hand. As we pick our way through the darkened forest,
Junie apologizes to me, a sheepish smile playing about her lips. Hey, Makoto.
What is it?
I just wanted to say sorry. I mean...
Junie scratches her cheek awkwardly.
I said I'd take you on a date, but there isn't much to do around here. Walking through the forest in the middle of the night can't be that exciting, surely.
Maybe it wouldn't be that much fun if I was on my own, but... I squeeze Junie's hand in what I hope is a comforting way. I could spend a night counting grains of rice with you, Junie, and I wouldn't get sick of it. Not as long as we're together.
Why, you charmer. It's like you want to make me blush.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. You look so cute and defenseless when your face turns all red.
Defenseless? I am. I'll make you eat those words, you naughty fox girl.
Junie nudges me in the side with her elbow, and I nudge her back. Then the two of us begin to play a silly game, tickling one another beneath the chin and arms and sides. When we finally tire ourselves out, we're both giggling helplessly, red-faced and sweaty. We have to keep our voices down, for fear we might attract the attention of the villagers at the nearby festival grounds. But for some reason, the secretive element of our relationship only makes it feel more wonderful. Maybe Ginger turns me on. Okay, I wonder if Junie was right. Maybe I am a naughty fox girl after all. Junie giggles, placid, and as she takes my hand in hers once more, our fingers entwine together.
You really are fun to be with, Makoto.
You too. You proved me wrong that maybe humans aren't so bad after all. I just wish they were all as nice as you. After that, the two of us lapse into silence. We trek through the forest together, hands intertwined, until we arrive at our destination. I've seen this meadow before, but it looks even lovelier beneath the moonlight. I mean, it looks kind of creepy, to be honest. The long, tall grass sways mysteriously in the breeze, and the stars twinkle in the sky. I can hear the faint sound of running water from a brook concealed within the trees. A few nightjars call to one another, and fireflies flicker in the cool air. I can't see or hear any humans. It's just me and Junie here alone.
So, what do you think? Nice, isn't it?
It's beautiful. I mean, I already knew it was beautiful, but it looks even better now. The sky actually is really well done.
Junie sits down on the ground among the shifting greenery, and I follow suit. The grass brushes beneath my ankles, and it feels nice and cool, and I sigh. Junie's hand is resting against mine. My fingers brush hers, and our faces turn pink. We've done so much more than hold hands over the last few days, but this feels even more intimate in a way. Junie begins to tell me a little about the stars while I rest my hand on her shoulder. I feel her warmth against my skin. It's nice. And if you look there at that bright star, then...
Junie's voice washes over me like ocean waves. My ears flatten against my skull and my tail stills. I don't think I've ever felt more peaceful. Being with Junie is wonderful, but... Hey, Junie.
Yes?
I was wondering, why are you so nice to me?
Well...
Junie frowns. She turns her head away from me, staring up at the night sky.
To most people, at least, I try to be. I don't believe in discriminating against people who look a little different to me. There's no need for such prejudices, especially when the other party hasn't done anything wrong. I wanted to give you a chance, and I'm glad I did. You're a lot of fun to be with, and I really like you.
When Junie praises me like that, with such open honesty, it's hard for a girl to keep her head. My face is burning up here. That's awfully nice of you, but none of the other visitors offered me the same courtesy, except Fallon, I guess. You were nice to me from the very beginning, though you had no reason to be.
Do I need a reason to be that kind?
Well, no. You've done more for me than anyone should have. You defended me from your whole village, and you let me live with you. If you get found out, you might be in real trouble. I don't know why you'd go so far from me, not when I'm a complete stranger. Being kind is one thing, but I don't think you'd acted above and beyond your duty.
I suppose my actions do seem rather incomprehensible, but...
Junie sighs.
I couldn't help myself. Not when I saw you were in trouble. I would have felt terrible if I would have left you on your own without any allies, after all. You really do look like her.
Her? My tail twitches. Now that I think about it, Junie said something similar early this morning when we were lying in bed together. She said I looked like somebody else. But who is this somebody else? I have no idea.
this is pretty confusing. Oh, don't worry about it, Makoto. I'm just being silly.
You say that, but I pout. How can I let the subject drop now? You keep teasing me about your past. You're not going into juicy details. Wouldn't you share them with me? I mean, we did have sex together and all. I've been as physically close with you as possible to be, but I want to be closer to your heart, too. I want to support you like you supported me, and I want to know all about you.
Makoto.
Junie stares at me, eyes wide.
Does this bother you that much?
Yeah, it does. I want to know. And I can be pretty stubborn about this kind of thing. It's okay if you don't want to tell me, but I'm supposed to look at like if I'm supposed to look like somebody else, it'd be only fair if I knew what that somebody else was. I don't want to be usurped by a memory. Junie frowns.
You think I was gonna use you as a replacement for this other girl?
I don't know what to I don't know what to think, because I don't know who this other girl even is. You won't tell me, Junie? Please, please, please. If it turns out Junie had some secret history with Shizuka or Shiori, I'll be crushed. Junie belongs to me, not them. I mean, they don't even have any lines of dialogue. They're not even proper characters in this narrative. Even Fallon has more presence than them. Like, the fourth wall stuff is okay, but I mean, it's also kind of, like, it pulls you out of the story in a sense. Like, I mean, I can appreciate the fact that they tried to make it interesting, but you could have avoided the breaking the fourth wall. I think it's a little too unnecessary, especially when she only does it twice to this point, and we've been doing this for a long time. Junie examines me, her eyebrows knitted, and she swallows. She still doesn't look entirely certain, but my passion must have worn over her. Eventually, after a long pause, Junie opens her mouth and says,
Okay, I'll tell you. I suppose I should have mentioned it earlier, but maybe part of me wanted to believe that you really were her. You look so similar after all. I was sure you were her when I first saw you, but I guess I was wrong.
Junie draws her knees up beneath her chin and she loops her arms around her legs. She rests her chin on her knees and says softly,
I'm sorry, Makoto. In the beginning, maybe I really was trying to use you as her replacement. But I've grown to like you based on your own merits. I care about you, and that's why I'll tell you. I don't want to keep playing silly games like this any longer. I'll let you know about my past and how I became the person I am today. It happened almost 20 years ago, when I was a young girl. I remember the date well because it was during the summer, the day after my 6th birthday. It was a day that would change my life forever. I wanted to play in the forest with Fallon, but she was busy helping her parents with something or other. She brushed me off and I was pretty annoyed, so I went storming off on my own. How dare she? I thought to myself as I crushed through the undergrowth. I'm 6 now and she's still 5. She should listen to me. I'm older and more mature. My parents had always told me not to venture too far into the woods. They said it was dangerous, creatures lurked in the shadows, and I'd be in danger if I strayed too far from the path. I was in a bad mood that day, though, and I didn't listen to my parents' warnings. I didn't care. I was a very stubborn, selfish child, and I always did whatever I wanted, regardless of what other people said. That was to be my downfall. But it also brought about the greatest blessing in my life. I walked deeper and deeper into the woods, seething all the while. Twigs cracked beneath the soles of my shoes and sharp needles stung my ankles. Soon I walked far, far further than I ever had before, but I wasn't afraid. Undaunted, I carried on. I'll show Fallon. I remember thinking to myself, this is all her fault. She didn't want to come play with me, but that's fine. I'll have an amazing adventure all on my own, and she'll be sorry she blew me off. As you can see, my reasoning wasn't the most advanced back then. Neither were my abilities at assessing risk. When you're 6, so... Soon I was so deep into the woods that the light could barely penetrate the leaves everywhere I turned. I was shrouded by thick, heavy foliage. Strange birds lurked among the trees, and curious mushrooms grew beneath the gnarled, twisted trees. It was horribly cold, and everything was overgrown. It was then that I began to feel a shiver of fear running up my spine. Perhaps I had gone too far into the forest after all. I turned about, desperately trying to find the path that led back home. But the trees were tall and imposing, and everything looked the same. I didn't know where to go, and I didn't know where I was. At At that moment, all the inclination drained out of my body. I'd been walking for more than an hour. My legs were sore, and my new dress, a gift for my 6th birthday, was dirty. I was sad and scared, and I began to cry. That, however, was a mistake. If the strange creatures that lurked in the woods had been unaware of my presence before, they certainly knew where I was then. I heard the rustles of leaves. Something was approaching me, and I was terrified. I turned around, trembling in fright, and then I saw it. A slime. If I had been an adult, a mere slime wouldn't have posed much of a threat, but as I am now, I can dispatch common enemies like this with little effort. In retrospect, I should have been grateful it wasn't a basilisk or a mandragora. But at the time, I was scared out of my wits. I was only 6 years old, and though I felt very strong and mature when I entered the forest, all my bravado had been disintegrated. It was then, as I looked at the slime, that I became aware of how powerless I was. My fear rooted me to the ground, and I was too scared to even think about running. All I could do was stand there, hands clenched at my sides, and shiver. I squeezed my eyes shut. I thought it was the end. I waited for the impact, willing it to be fast, but it never came. Instead, I heard something, the rustle of leaves and a loud cry.
Leave her alone, you mean monster? This isn't nice to bully such a cute girl. Get lost.
It was a voice I had never heard before, but it was a human's. At least I thought it was human's. That filled me with relief, if nothing else. I cracked my eyes open, still shivering, and that's when I saw her. She looked like a human, but I knew she wasn't. She had 2 fluffy ears and a fluffy tail, and her eyes were strange purplish color. She was a fox girl. My parents had always told me to stay away from fox people if I saw them. They said fox people were really creatures who would stop at nothing to hurt us. I had rumors about fox people casting curses on humans or stealing away their babies in the middle of the night. I should have been afraid, and perhaps I was in part, but the fox world didn't look very terrifying. I had heard fox people could live for hundreds of years, but this girl must have been a cub, if that is correct terminology. She didn't look much older than I was. In fact, she was even shorter than me. Despite her youth, however, she didn't seem at all fazed by the slime. The monster was creeping closer and closer to us, but the fox girl was standing between me and the slime as it approached. She sighed.
Guess I'll have to do things the hard way then. You monsters never learn. I'm just assuming.
Energy surrounded the girl. She held out her hand and she said,
This'll teach you a lesson. Burn!
All of a sudden, a burst of flame shot from her hand. The flames singed the slime's skin, if that's what you call it, and it slumped, melting into molten candle wax.
That should stop you for a while. Let's go, fast, while it's still reeling. Oh, look at her. She's the cutest little child. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is she not the cutest thing?
The fox girl took my hand and she dashes through the woods.
Oh my god, they're the cutest thing. Oh, I love them so much. This is such a cute drawing. Oh my god, I love it so much.
We ran and ran, my heart thumping in my chest all the while. She was fast, and I had to struggle to keep up with her. On several occasions, I almost tripped, but she helped support me. After a few minutes, the girl eventually slowed. She didn't let go of my hand, though. This part of the woods was far more welcoming than the thickly forested area where the slime had been. The trees had thinned out, and I could feel the sunlight on my skin again. The grass shadowed with flowers, and everything was calm and peaceful. She had saved me, but I still had no idea who she was.
Oh, she's so cute. Oh, bless their adorable little children hearts. Do you not want to spoil these children? I'm just saying, these 2 kids are like kids you look at and you're like, oh my god, you're so cute, you can have anything you want. You know what I'm saying?
Geez, that escape was close. The girl laughed at me, her eyes shining.
If I hadn't been there, you would have been a goner. Lucky, huh?
A goner?
That's right. That slime would have eaten you for breakfast. Nom 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 nom.
The girl made a series of exaggerated chewing motions as I shuddered. Then, does that mean you saved me?
Yeah, sure did.
But why? You're a fox girl and I'm a human. Why would you care about what happens to me?
Why? That's simple. It's 'cause you're cute.
Huh? What was that?
You heard me. You're cute, so I wanted to help you. That's all there is to it. Besides, it doesn't matter if you're a human. you've never done anything to hurt me, so I have no reason to dislike you.
But humans and fox girls were enemies, aren't we?
I know we're supposed to be, but I don't understand why. I think you seem like a nice person. See, this is why children are amazing, you know what I'm saying? Like, children are great. This is why it statistically shows that children who come out like as trans or as a part of the LGBT community when they're really young at like 7 or 6 or 7 tend to not only help the people around them become better people and more accepting people, but on top of that have really welcoming community. Children around 6 or 7 are just really nice. Like, they're mean about the stupidest things, but overall, like, they tend to be really accepting of different people, which is really cool. It's a really interesting trait. You guys can look it up if you want to know more, but there's a lot of studies and stuff on it, and a lot of kind of different series about children who are kind of different, coming out and being themselves at a young age, and how that actually helps improve not only their life, but also the lives of the people around them in terms of just being more accepting and nice people.
I wasn't sure if I was a nice person. I was a stubborn, selfish child. Maybe I was something of a brat. I always thought I knew better than everybody, and I didn't listen to my parents. Maybe I didn't deserve to be saved. The girl certainly had no obligation to save me. She was a stranger, but she came to my defense all the same. And though it was only natural, I was curious. Weren't you all at all scared of the slime?
Scared? Why should I be? I'm a fox girl, you know. I'm not just any fox girl. I'm one of the strongest in my clan. My mother's incredibly powerful, and everybody says I'll be as strong as her when I get older. I only have one tail, but my magic's pretty incredible already. I can even hold my own against my tutor. Everyone says I'm a prodigy.
The girl puffed out her chest.
Well, twin sister? Does she have a twin sister? No. Maybe she was a badass as a kid. Who knows? Maybe she just got worse. I mean, she said that she was born without much power, though. Maybe she's just flaunting fake power. I don't know.
The girl puffed out her chest proudly, not that she had much of a chest.
She's like 6. You don't have to say that. We know. You don't hit puberty until you're like, usually like at the earliest, you're like maybe late 8, maybe 9. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but hey, comment in the comment section down below, just saying. I bet I'll at least have 3 tails before my 10th birthday. That's what my tutor said. Oh, slime has no chance against my magic.
You're awfully confident, aren't you?
I pouted.
Oh, I pouted and I hit the ground with the tip of my shoe, but I wasn't actually angry. How could I be when this girl saved my life? Her boastful nature aside, she really was kind. I appreciated it. Thank you. I smiled at her shyly, my fingers still intertwined with hers. I'm glad I met you.
I'm glad I met you too, or that slide would be digesting you by now.
The girl giggled and I groaned.
Really though, I'm happy I got to meet a human. This is my very first time.
Meeting a human?
Yeah, I've always wanted to talk to humans, but my tutor tells me not to. She says humans are evil and wicked and they want to hurt me. But you don't seem evil or wicked. Plus, those scrawny arms, I don't think you could hurt me even if you wanted to. I could turn you into a crisp with the snap of my fingers.
Gee, thanks. I pouted and the girl laughed again. She laughed a lot, that girl. It's something I remember strongly even now.
You know, you should smile more.
Why should I?
You have a cute face. It's a shame to waste it pouting all the time. Don't you want to be happy like me?
The girl grinned. Her smile was radiant and it illuminated something in my heart. I'm not sure why her words reached me, really. Lots of people told me to smile more, to be more polite, and to act more gracious. My parents were always harping on me about my manners back then, and I never listened. I was an incredibly stubborn girl, but that fox girl's words resonated with me. Her smile was infectious, and before I knew it, I was smiling too.
There, you see, I knew you'd be better at smiling. You should do it more often. Anyway, don't you think you gotta find your way back home from here?
I should be fine. We kept walking while we've been walking while we were talking, and the girl led the way. I sensed from that meeting she was a natural-born leader. Over the course of the last 15 minutes, she'd taken me to the outskirts of Warren Village. My own home was a brief walk away, down a comforting, familiar dirt path. I'll be okay. What about you?
What about me?
Are you going back home already? If you came back to my house, I could get you something to drink or maybe a piece of Mother's apple pie. Her cooking is delicious and I especially love her pie.
Oh, apple pie?
The girl's eyes lit up, her tail wagging it like an excitable dog's. But the moment passed and she sighed.
I'd love to, but I can't. I've been away from home long enough already. If my tutor finds out I've been talking to a human, she'll get angry with me. I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, I see. That's too bad. Well, even if you can't come back home with me, could we meet up in the woods again? I'd like to play with you some more. That is, if you don't mind.
Of course I don't mind. I'd love to be friends with you.
Friends? We can?
That's right. It'll be fine so long as my stuffy old tutor doesn't find out. It might be kind of fun keeping a secret like this from her.
The fox girl giggled mischievously.
Anyway, I should get going, but before I leave, I want you to have this.
The fox girl reached up to her hair, and she had 2 cute pigtails tied in place with red ribbons, but she unwound one of the ribbons and handed it to me. I extended my hand, and the fox girl dropped the red ribbon onto my palm. What's this for?
A memento. If you keep this with you, it should help you remember the time we spent together today, and it'll let you know that it was no dream. This is real, and you really are my best friend. I'm really glad I met you.
The girl quickly pressed a kiss on my cheek. Then she turned around and ran off, dashing through the trees in a blur. Within seconds, the foliage closed around her, and I could no longer see her. That was the last time I ever saw her.
They probably, erased her memory?
Maybe she forgot about me. She said we were friends, but I never saw her again. I looked, of course. I went back to the forest dozens and dozens of times, sometimes with Fallon, sometimes on my own. But she never appeared again. Sometimes I wonder if she's a figment of my imagination. But I know that isn't true. She gave me this after all. Junie draws something from her pocket, a length of red, silky ribbon. A little frayed now, but still obviously well loved. I kept it for nearly 2 decades, and I continue to keep a hold of it no matter what happens. I want to believe I'll be able to see her again. It was a brief encounter, but it changed my life. It's because of her that I started to smile more. It's because of her that I decided to become a knight, so I can protect people in need. I want to be an admirable person, like she was. Then, if I ever do see her again, I'll be able to be proud of my accomplishments, just like she was proud of hers. That's what I want. It's my dearest wish. Junie looks up at the moon, her eyes misty and far away. Her lips are pursed, her ashen hair fluttering in the breeze. But Junie's face hardly registers in my brain, neither do her words. I'm too busy staring at the ribbon held in Junie's arms. It's a rather plain ribbon, without any kind of...
Oh, fuck. I forgot. We're back to her narration.
It's a rather plain ribbon without any kind of decoration.
It's the sort of ribbon you could find anywhere. There's nothing special about it. But for some reason, looking at it makes my heart ache. I run my hands through my hair. With tremendous fingers, I examine the length of my plain red ribbon that ties my hair back. I look at the ribbon, and then I look at the ribbon in Junie's hands. They look similar. They look very similar, in fact. Didn't I used to have another ribbon like this when I was young? I always wondered where it had gone. I thought I must have lost it, but could it be? And that's where we're going to stop this episode, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you guys like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, all that amazing stuff. Links in the description for all the cool stuff, all the cool shenanigans that we have on the channel. I hope you guys do check out the channel, look around. We got a lot of playlists. I've done a lot of visual novel playthroughs if you guys are interested. We've played Fatal 12. We're continuing Rio Reincarnation. That's going to be a pretty lengthy one. We're going to be doing a lot of these series, so make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button for future content, and we'll see y'all next time.